One thing my clients always tell me is my Hoya is actually not flowering, you know, but give them time, because with Hoyas what it is that's a peduncle, right? Once it flowers from here, you don't cut it off like other flowers. You don't prune a Hoya. You can prune them if you want more leaves, but not to flower. So if you cut it over here, you get more leaves over there. But if you cut this, you're ruining the fact that it could flower next year from the exact same spot, right? So what you want is your plant, as it matures, it would have more and more and more of these. Every year you'd be adding 1, you'd be adding 2, you'd be adding 3. And when it flowers at the same time, all of them would flower at the same time. But you don't want to get rid of the peduncle, which is that stick over there, right? In terms of getting them to flower, let them mature first. They won't just flower as they're young. Some might do, but that's obviously nature. You can't control everything. Yeah. But yeah, so you let them, you know, you let it grow out completely, let it grow, and then feed it. You want to feed it while it's young as well. You don't want to feed it too much. Yeah, you want to keep it slightly fed, not too much. So I usually put pine barks, a little bit of cow manure, not too much, very little, and charcoal in the mixer. So it keeps it very loose, but also the manure and the pine bark would be for keeping the moisture retention. Yeah. Right, and then the other specialty is the Hoyas. The Hoyas are really what really gets me, because the interesting leaves. You can see this one here. If you can't really feel it on camera, but it feels like cardboard, like very hard and very rough. You can see all these veins that are protruding. They're all very textured. Yeah. And this is only turning this color because of the sun it's getting. So it was somewhere at the bottom of the shelf. Yeah. But it grew to a specimen where I was like, okay, now I want to see the color. So because obviously if you put it in the sun, it would have a bit of a slower growth because you're slowing it. But once they grow, and that's when I'll put it in the sun so I can actually see a bit of the So this one actually has started stressing very nicely. And yeah, so you'd think, okay, this, and then there's this over here, which is, you know, they're both Hoyas, but look at the size of the, you know, the leaf, the difference in texture as well. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Hoya. Is it thomsonii? Sorry, I have all the. Yeah, this is thomsonii. So that's Hoya thomsonii, and yeah, it's very fluffy, very thick.
Very succulent.
Yeah, they are succulent. I think that's why a small pot is perfectly fine. You know. Yeah. They don't need a lot of moisture most of the time. Yeah. So the smallest pots are better for Hoyas.
I do kind of wonder if Hoya has become so popular because you can keep so many in small spaces.
In small spaces, yes.
You know, it's an easy thing for a collector who doesn't have a lot of area to be able to specialize in. And like you said, if this just contained Hoyas, you probably could have
so many
2-3 dozen species in it, kind of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. And then in terms of getting them to flower, you can actually feed them rose food. You can feed them orchid food. You can feed them any flowering plants food would pretty much get it to flower. If you want to boost your flowering, and yeah, keep the peduncles, because the more the peduncles they are on your plant, the more flowers you get at a time. If you keep your garden diverse enough, we have so many moths because they get pollinated by moths, and they flower. They bloom throughout the day. They actually, most of them, some of them, might actually have such blooms that they'll only open at night. But in terms of the scent, it's powerful at night. So the main attraction for pollination is moths. That's a Hoya imbricata. That's a Hoya as well.
Is this one of those ones that forms the little ant houses and stuff?
Yeah. Okay, so I have one which I've tried to kind of shingle on this little thing over here. But I think because there's been too many plants around it, it hasn't shingled. But over there, it's growing in here.
And it's an escape.
And now it's doing something like that. I've just left it. I thought I want to see it flower anyways.
This here is pushed so tight up against that it will create a bit of a seal somewhat. And then you not naturally in the natural environment have ants that would live inside these little dry areas. And be able to keep out of the rain and things like that, keep their nests dry.
And because the leaves can actually grow quite big, almost palm size. So yeah, that people might be asking, that's like a really small space to make an ant colony, but like they could grow palm sized, and obviously there'd be so many of them. The ants would actually have like a whole, a whole neighborhood of.
They got different chambers, different rooms. Oh, there's the queen's chamber that side. Yeah, exactly.
I saw one video on it. I think it was in Thailand, where they actually opened some of them, and amazing. They were even laying the eggs and everything inside. Really cool.
No, but this is a nice idea. Do you find that it actually keeps enough humidity even though the top is open here?
So before it used to be in the house, I would keep it closed. But because it's already in a humid environment.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. That over there is Syngonium pixie. That's the smallest syngonium in the world.
Is
so
it?
It's not going to grow bigger than that. That's the size of the leaves. And then we have also another. It's growing out from there. It's Spilea, Peperonia family.
Oh yeah,
the string of
little spikes from them and stuff like that.
That's a string of turtles, so you can see the little turtle pattern on the.
Yeah. And would this naturally like kind of climb? Because I'm assuming this would climb over rocks and be.
Yeah. Rocks at the probably forest floor as well.
Yeah. Up the base of trees for a little bit and stuff like that.
I think also one thing that most of our gardeners don't know is that most of our hanging plants, they don't actually hang. They crawl on the floor. They either crawl on the floor or on the trees. We just allow them to hang. Other than that, there's no pot in the jungle that so obviously the Hoyas do hang because they do grow on the top.
Yeah.